together for this wonderful woman. My God. Wow! Please don't go like that. Ladies and gentlemen, wait. If I had nothing, I've done you again.
I told you
wow. A round of applause for our own. That's what I'm saying. Who is Celine Dion? In fact, only you that the voice Nigeria.
My
the voice Africa.
I think you know what? We will start a record label.
Earlier. Thank you, and thank your wife, Her Excellency. Deputy Governor Philip Scheibel, Lord Chief Justice Constance Momo, my husband, Sir Dr. Gabriel Igbenedion, thank you for this splendid evening. Earlier this evening, I shared with the Chief Justice and our own Scion of the House of Igbenedion and his wife, Her Excellency Eki. I said, you know, it is just incredible what my husband gets up to. I said, it was not until last week, Thursday, that I got a wink of what he was up to. And I was in the middle of my medicals in London, after which I was hoping to go home to Jamaica to just put my feet in the ocean water of Montego Bay and kick the sand. That to me was going to be a 70th birthday. But I called home and my husband said to me, who wears the trousers in this house? And very quickly I said,
Thank you for joining us again on the News Hour on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opara. First, the headlines. On the national scene, President Tinubu launches expatriate employment levy to employ more Nigerians. SANS lists expectations as Supreme Court justices rise to 21. In business news, CBN begins sales of dollars to BDCs. On the foreign scene, NATO allies roll out sending troops to Ukraine as Russia rebukes President Macron. And in the weather sports, MPFL postpones match day 22 tie. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has launched the Expatriate Employment Levy, EEL, a mandatory contribution imposed on organizations that employ expatriate workers in Nigeria. While launching the EEL at the Council Chamber Presidential Villa, Abuja, the President expressed confidence that the levy will improve revenue, indigenization, and balance employment in the country. He described the initiative as a game changer, urging the foreign companies operating in the country to employ more Nigerians, balance employment opportunities, and close the wage gap between the expatriates and the Nigerian labor force. The President declared his support for the program, assuring that he will continue to encourage the operators, practitioners of immigration matters, and expatriate quotas.
It is important to know that ELL is a contribution recently approved by the government, which will impose effective timeline on expatriate workers in this country. To be able to train and develop Nigerians. I've listened to Honorable Adam Oshiomhole, our distinguished senator. making very good and valid points on why Nigerians should be in the forefront of technology transfer and stem the brain drain associated with our current situation. We expect revenue generation improvement, improved naturalization and indigenization, employment of more Nigerians by foreign companies operating in this country, balancing of employment opportunity between Nigerians and expatriates, close wage gap between the expatriate and the Nigerian labor force by making it more attractive to hire Nigerians.
Now, President Bola Tinubu has explained that the decision taken to remove subsidy on petrol was a challenging one, but necessary to ensure a transparent and accountable energy sector. The president, who spoke at the opening of the 2024 Nigeria International Energy Summit (NIES) in Abuja, acknowledged that the decision has led to hardship, especially amongst low-income earners, assuring that eventually the economy will improve and the benefits will manifest. Represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, Tinubu said energy security was a priority for his administration. He said the petroleum subsidy has, over the years, strained the nation's economic resources, leading to inefficiencies and, most importantly, hindering the ability to invest in critical areas of energy security. Acknowledging the hardship caused by the decision, President Tinubu further noted that his administration is committed to implementing social intervention programs to mitigate the short-term effects on vulnerable populations. Now, the opposition political parties in Nigeria, under the aegis of the Coalition of United Political Parties, have called for a national dialogue to seek appropriate solutions to the current economic hardship in Nigeria. Recall that Nigeria has been facing economic challenges in recent times, with many people finding it difficult to meet their basic needs due to the high cost of goods and services. This led the Nigeria Labour Congress to announce a 2-day protest to call attention to the hardship and hunger in the country. Reacting, a member of CUPP and national chairman of the African Democratic Congress, Ralph Nwosu, expressed concern over the economic hardship and urged President Tinubu to initiate a national dialogue. Nwosu, while meeting with other CUPP members in his office in Abuja, expressed concern about the state of the country under President Tinubu. In another development, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, on Monday, swore in 11 new justices of the Supreme Court, bringing the number of justices on the Apex Court bench to 21. The development was hailed by senior advocates of Nigeria, who expressed the hope that it would translate to the clearing of the huge backlog of cases at the Supreme Court. The swearing-in of the 11 justices comes over 2 months after they were screened and confirmed by the Senate, acting on the recommendation of President Bola Tinubu. Before now, the number of justices on the Supreme Court bench went down to an all-time low of 10, as opposed to 21 recommended by the Constitution. Speaking with newsmen, a former Attorney General of Abia State, Chief Awa Kalu SAN, said with the Supreme Court now having its full complement of justices, it is expected of them to crack down on the backlog of cases, which is the expectation of everybody, and it is a legitimate expectation. Similarly, human rights lawyer Ebonolu Adegboruwa SAN said the appointment of the 21 justices must be complemented with the provision of necessary equipment that would aid justice delivery at the Apex Court. We'll take a break now to bring you business news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to business news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced its decision to sell foreign exchange worth $20,000 to each eligible bureau de change operators across the country. This is coming more than 2 years after the suspended former CBN governor Godwin Emefiele stopped the sales of foreign exchange to BDC operators in that segment of the forex market. The Apex Bank disclosed this in the new circular issued and signed by the Director, Trade and Exchange Department, Hassan Mahmoud. The circular, titled Sale of Foreign Exchange to Bureau de Change Operators to Meet Retail Demand for Eligible Invisible Transactions, said the move, aimed at rectifying the persisting distortions in the retail segment of Nigeria's foreign exchange market and bridging the widening gap in the exchange rate. It said the allocation will be sold at a rate of 1,301 naira to $1, reflecting the lower bound rate of executed spot transactions at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market as of the previous trading day, dated February 27, 2024. Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has increased the benchmark interest rate by 400 bp. The MPC, headed by the former acting governor of the Apex Bank, Fola Shodun, from 18.5% in May last year. The capital requirement ratio was retained at 32.5%, while the liquidity ratio stood at 30%.
The committee decided to further tighten monetary policy as follows. 1. Raise the MPR by 400 basis points to 22.75 from 18.75%. Adjust the asymmetric corridor around the MPR to plus 100 to minus 700 from plus 100 to minus 300 basis points. Raise the cash reserve ratio from 32.5% to 45%. Retain the liquidity ratio at 30%.
You're watching Biscon TV News. Up next is Politics News. Stay tuned.
This is Biscon Politics. The Edo State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Asra Igodalo, received a certificate of return from the leadership of the party today. Acting chairman of the PDP, Ambassador Umar Demagun, assisted by other party officials, presented the certificates to the candidate in Abuja. And now to the House of Representatives. 60 lawmakers in the Nigeria's House of Representatives have set the stage for a potential shift from the presidential system to a parliamentary system of government. The proposed legislation, titled the Bills Proposing Constitutional Alterations for a Transition to Parliamentary System of Government, already received its first reading. Among the highlighted issues are the high cost of governance, which hampers essential sectors like infrastructure, education, and healthcare, and the concentration of excessive powers in the executive branch, leading to a lack of direct accountability to the people. In a joint effort transcending party affiliations and regional backgrounds, these lawmakers are positioning themselves at the forefront of history, advocating for a shift from the current presidential system to a parliamentary one at all levels, federal, state, and local government. The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, said state-controlled prisons, police, and railways were some of the items highlighted by the National Assembly to be accommodated in the Constitution Amendment. The Deputy Speaker said the amendment will focus on the devolution of powers. He noted that the reform will unbundle some of the things from the exclusive list to the concurrent list. According to Kalu, the Constitution Amendment Committee will be looking into the issue of state police, which has dominated discussions in recent time as solution to the insecurity in Nigeria. And now to Ondo State, indication emerges that the People's Democratic Party PDP in Ondo State may settle for consensus arrangement in picking its governorship candidate for November election. Working on various calculations to ensure its candidate occupies the Alagbaka government house, leadership of the party are rallying governorship aspirants to form a common front. In realization of the dream to produce the next governor of Ondo State, the governorship aspirants of the party have met with some of the leaders led by former Governor Olusegun Mimiko and some former chairmen of the party in the state. That's all on Biscon Politics.
Welcome back. You're watching Biscon TV News. Now to foreign news. The United States and key European allies have said they had no plans to send ground troops to Ukraine after France hinted at the possibility, and the Kremlin warned that any such move would inevitably lead to conflict between Russia and NATO. French President Emmanuel Macron has said on Monday that Western allies should exclude no options in seeking to avert a Russian victory in Ukraine, though he stressed there was no consensus at this stage. His comments made at a hastily convened meeting of European leaders in Paris on ways to boost flagging support for Kyiv came amid battlefield gains by Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces in eastern Ukraine, as well as growing shortages of ammunition and manpower on the Ukrainian side. However, Germany, Britain, Spain, Poland, and the Czech Republic distanced themselves from any suggestion that might commit ground troops to the Ukrainian war, now in its third year. The White House has also reiterated that it also had no plan to send ground troops, instead urging U.S. lawmakers to approve a stored security aid bill that would ensure Ukrainian troops got the weapons and ammunition needed to continue their fight. You're still watching Biscon TV News. Coming up next is sports news. Stay tuned. Nigeria edged Cameroon